I've liked all the kinds of work that I've done. Each kind of job I liked in a different way and for different reasons. But my favorite thing to do is to write. As you know, I'm a poet. I'm pretty well known, but certainly not famous. Perhaps I'll be famous in 100 years. Or in 1,000 years. Should I hope so? Or should I not care? What do you think? I became a writer for many reasons. For one thing, I liked doing it. That was a big reason. For another, I was pretty good at it. And for a third thing, I just kept doing it, whether I wanted to or not. It wouldn't go away. It stuck with me. It became like my skin and like my eyes, except it was a skin that I made by writing, and eyes with which I saw by writing. Do you understand what I mean? At least a little bit? Some things one simply does and can't avoid. In another way, I became a writer because I wanted to make something that could not be made to vanish. Something that would last. Something that no one could erase. I wanted to do that, I think, because so many people in my family were killed by the Nazis. But I only really understood that about myself and about why I wrote way after it happened. Some things are like that too. You only understand them after they happen. I've written about 12 books of poetry, and I've collaborated on the 10 books of the grand piano. You can Google the grand piano, or you can go to www.grandpiano.org and learn more about it. Some of my poetry has even been translated into French, and I bet you can find the books, the anthology. By the way, I do read French. Yes, I do. And I should say, I'm sorry, I do speak French, and I read French. I speak it pretty well. I lived in France for a couple of years, and I was immersed in the language. I heard it all around me, day and night. I spoke it all the time. Everything I did in French. By the end of my stay in France, I was thinking and dreaming in French. And that was very strange for an American. I loved the language, but I was afraid I was losing the language I was born in. Oh, one more thing. I also speak German, and I can read it. I love France. I have many French friends, including many French poet friends. I lived in Paris, and of course I love it so much. What a great place. Come on. I have many friends there, not just French friends, but Americans who live there too. My last address in Paris, it's a long time ago, was 14 Avenue Charles Floquet in the 7th arrondissement, right near the Tour Eiffel. I lived in a chambre de bonne. It was a 7th floor room, a walk-up, dusty, dirty, cold. I was poor, and I was both unhappy and very happy at the same time. Can you imagine that? It's a pretty good state to be in, if somewhat confusing. And of course I like French food. Everyone who likes food likes French food. So now I've answered all your questions. And I thank you for asking them. But I haven't answered the most important question of all. Who will I be tomorrow? I haven't answered that question because I don't know the answer. When will I find out? Here's what I think. Tomorrow, I will find out for sure that the things I thought yesterday turned out not to be altogether true today. What do you think of that? Okay, I'm going to sign off. I've answered all your questions. And I'm going to put this text online somewhere, probably tomorrow, and tell your teacher where I put it, and she can tell you where it is. And this video I'm going to put on YouTube. A bientôt.